Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Also, what's up, Bojangles?
Let us see what the postman brought today.
Welcome to the game! It's a little stuttery. I'm gonna go ahead and... Advertisement. Tensions between England and Sweden are running high after a series of unfortunate mishaps during a recent visit to London by Swedish Princess Hildur. Chief among the scandals was the embarrassment of the British diplomatic corps as a result of unexplained disappearance of the personal bodyguard. Okay. A person went missing. Weird, it's like putting me like first person view on the table. There's nothing else to inspect except for is it the food? Wait. I mark the cup? No, there's not anything. It's a bit stuttery. I'd like to... Damn, the character just... it doesn't feel good to walk. To be honest. And I feel like I'm over the... It's weird to describe how I feel about like where I am in relation to Sherlock Holmes. Like I feel like I'm a bird just in a weird view. Alright, so here's the newspaper. I just looked at that.
This mess is getting out of hand. What will the landlady think?
You know, like standing, let alone walking. But it's just in the game though. Here we go. There's an envelope.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming.
How spooky do we think this game is gonna get? It's a mystery game about Cthulhu.
Even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
0% spooky. Okay. Now there's still a good chance I get jump scared by it.
I'm on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than
It's a fair
anything
point.
which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
The Strand is missing. Creepy. Hello, detective mode. A rainy day, why not dress in something more appropriate for the weather? Okay. A lot of random stuff here. Wind code, a storm is coming. But I need a hat. Those are cool. Oh, that's a reference to the Doctor. Wait, do I have a like the outfit like his, like the suspenders? This is 100% a reference to Doctor Who. Let's personalize him. Let's make him more like me. No, I can't imagine him with any kind of beard or facial hair. Here's a version of him that got beaten the fuck up. It's just Watson. Why is this part of the game? We could take the glass. Oh wait, here we go. Oh yeah. It just says put on a hat. The fact that that was even like, hey, you know you have all these cool outfits. Like, I guess that's cool. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes.
Exactly, agreed. This is the strand they're talking about. Never mind.
Skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool.
Let me turn the music up. Let me turn everything up a little bit. I turned it down because, you know, I'm usually like, hey, it's gonna be. Before I was playing this, I was playing like Marvel Rivals Competitive, and I have had a hell of a day doing that. Alright, there's two things here.
You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand here.
Oi, lad. It went okay. I think I got to
Sorry, Mr.
bronze
Holmes, I just
2.
sold my last paper.
And I mean,
Then why are you
I've
still
learned
here?
that I've been playing
What's
Iron Man
going
all
on
wrong
now?
because I'm not aiming
There's
directly
sensitive
at people. I'm
time
aiming at their feet.
Any breaking news today?
The dog accident. It's the talk of the town.
Yes, yes. Besides the tripe on the front page, anything about burglaries?
I'm not sure, sir.
I've been giving a, you know, people were talking shit about my healing ability,
I presume you
but
see everything
my feeling is
goes
that they
on around
weren't
here?
sticking as part of the team, so I can't heal them that
Mister.
much.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson,
Cool, now I can take the day off.
Alright, what do we know that the paper had potting soil, but we're clearly concerned about that. Not about the man.
can you describe the man you saw?
It might just be one of those where you get all 3 questions.
Up to his chin they were.
Ever heard of a well-read assassin?
Looks can deceive, hence the appeal of disguises. Did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. If you have more shillings. Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. New question in the Mind Palace. Who ruined the Strand? Book from Barnes. Hang on, let's see. So this Watson brought in the morning's post, but the Strand is missing. Before entering the building, pages were soiled. Newspaper is indeed in the bin. So A newsboy had testimony. He said there was a man carrying a stack of books. And there was the book from Barnes, so maybe they're related? Barnes, the local bookseller, ruined the newspaper. Look at that. Master detective. The newsboy said that a suspicious man was carrying a stack of books, and this morning Mr. Barnes, the local bookseller, delivered a novel for Dr. Watson. A cactus spine for assassination, a loud bang, a visit to Mr. Barnes is in order.
Come now, Mr. Holmes. Murder? Yes, Barnes has his
Get
quirks,
the
but he also
Strand.
has his
Get your
scruples.
copy of the Strand here.
Okay, and then I can find the bookshop.
Every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Barnes bookseller, okay.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
This is just around the corner. I came this way. Let's go here. Stenwick's Manor. Let's go here first. Considering which corner. Found it. Alright, Barnes, I got a fucking question for you, bro. It's me. Okay? Oh, hey. Aw, dog.
Hello there. What's your name?
Lily, I know, not very original. The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall.
Here's potting soil. Okay, so I found the bookshop. I need to go the other way. Wait, who are you? Wait.
Help me, please.
No, I don't know anything about that.
Do I need to, like... I can't go in here. You're a guy. Oh, it's in here.
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona.
Oh, that's Watson over there, okay. I can probably get away with unpinning this. Oh, this is the part where you, like, read everything about them. Yes, I deduce you're overworked. Quite, Watson. You keeping it high and tight, yes. I like the idea that this guy is literally, like, crouching down in front. Like, Sherlock Holmes is just crouching down in front of this guy. The guy's like, excuse me, can I help you? Newspaper ink. What else we got? What are we missing? Yes. High heels, wants to look taller. Newspaper ink, wants to look taller, sore left leg, effects overwork. He has bags under his eyes, result of poor sleep and stress. He has developed a limp, likely the result of an attack. He wears high heels to look taller or stronger, presumably to deter future violence. Mr. Barnes is being threatened by someone and might be involved in a plot against me. Because he's got that as blackmail victim. Intense work wouldn't cause, like, what are you, you're working in a bookstore. I'm gonna say he's a blackmail victim. We'll see if I was right.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
I almost want a mod to put Benjamin Cumberbatch's likeness on the character.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
He's clearly guilty.
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help
Yeah, this
yourself
feels
to the
less
book, just
being stressed and
take
more
it
about
away later.
the blackmail gas.
I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out. The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
Oh. That would indicate that he fell.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? I could hardly imagine anything more macabre. Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
Everlasting plan. It's okay. You got any ideas?
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
The finest view London has to offer.
Oh, Sherlock, you dog.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is.
That's cool.
An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
How does that help me? Ah, thanks for subscribing to tier 3, buddy. Okay. Are you an informant?
I should have worn something warmer.
We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think.
Oh, here we go. This is what I was missing.
A familiar spine. This is what I found in my dustbin. The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something. It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
Okay, so the only thing that's wrong is the cactus.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Let's observe. Oh, observe her, okay. Wearing makeup for beauty or concealment. Avoids contact or distracted. Honoring deceased husband. Usual for work attire. Change shoes upon arrival. Do you even know he did it? He's the most likely suspect for who tried to poison Sherlock Holmes. A la me. AKA me. So, she wears a mourning brooch. Her dress is made of expensive fabric, not suitable for work. No traces of mud. Her eyes constantly dart around, seeming to search for something. Is she waiting for someone? Trying to move on. Well, the way I see it, if she was actually trying to move on, she wouldn't be wearing the brooch. I think it'd be a stretch to say she's out here looking for tail.
My condolences, Mrs. Fleming.
Mr. Holmes?
Your husband's death. You're clearly still in mourning.
Oh, no. I loved him more than anything, of course, but that was some time ago now. Life goes on.
A lesson we all learn, one way or another.
Provide evidence? Would it be the Strand?
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
One of these things is not like the other.
Okay.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove.
I'll get better at
The
this.
sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless. Though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
Anything else you can do here, Deadfires? Maybe tell me that.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
Interesting.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No,
Okay,
not
this was
really.
a good lead to go.
Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly.
Damn,
when
I was
our dogs
completely off
played.
with my guess
He was
about her and
quiet
her
and seemed unsteady
deceased
as we
husband.
approached. But since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Oh. Yeah, I would have literally never guessed that. That even feels like a stretch.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
I'm on my Sean Spencer timing.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her
It feels like
secret
either way I get it
admirer.
wrong.
I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Damn, so I'm sitting here
Barnes,
thinking that
it's
there's like a
Dr.
big
Watson.
plot.
Rest assured, we are not interested
But bro
in
just made a
exposing your
mistake.
personal affairs to anyone, including
I literally
Mrs.
jumped
Fleming.
into the unreliable
Please
narrator
come out.
of Sherlock Holmes saying, oh yeah, this dude definitely poisoned me. Oh, can you guys hear the game okay?
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books.
Alright, cool.
It was quite an awkward package, heavy too. And when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
God his ass,
Oh,
dude.
it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most
Hang on, I'm
things
gonna
in
be
life,
helpful here.
Truth is the answer. Cease with the obtruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things.
So at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for
I
yourself.
can't believe how quick I was to jump into the idea that he's being blackmailed and trying to kill me.
Magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with
Yeah.
the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay.
Oh,
Just
brother, this guy stinks!
I am waiting for the inevitable, like, Cthulhu that is going to happen on this. Alright, let's see. Saltpeter explosion of rock stocks. Locals at the Port of London had a rude awakening last night, with loud bangs and thick red smoke disturbing the peace. Merchant ship Moskva had docked at Pier 3 in the early evening en route to Europe, when it was rocked by several concussive explosions. The Port Authority is yet to comment on the incident, and it is unknown if any crew members... It has to. It's called Sherlock Holmes versus the Awaken. Were on board at the time. Eyewitnesses report seeing saltpeter linking into the river, but with the area still off limits to workers and the public, it may be some time before we have a full account of what transpired.
come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this
Well, I know
matter
that.
behind
Like, I'm sure it's to be
Well,
explained away,
it's
but I hope it's
okay.
at least interesting to look
Mrs.
at.
Fleming.
What am I doing now? Okay, pinning that doesn't give me anything.
I'm sure Barnes has had enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We best be off.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Oh, I think this is probably where
It is,
it's gonna
Hunter.
come from.
There'll always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
Since he sees things that aren't there, I wonder if he'll infer that there's,
Without
you know,
something
Cthulhu.
on my mind,
I cannot wait to see how this game gets around to
Which brings
Cthulhu.
us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed.
I might stream tomorrow just because I want to keep. I think I know I'm gonna keep playing this
A patient
after.
of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career, but...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
He gestured this way. Where the fuck are we going? Do you walk for me? No.
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop. Not much further now.
Is this it? It seems like a house.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart?
Watson is Cthulhu confirmed.
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law...
Sergeant Ruffles is an excellent cat name.
Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning
No.
papers, but yesterday
That shall not happen.
Get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Tell me about Kim here.
He's foreign. A Maori,
There you go, you can get
all the
yourself
way
a cat.
from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever
But Jiggles
seen.
will get a cat and call Sergeant Ruffles.
Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
Bro, that's like he's his property.
I take it this is the first time Kimahir has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Rescued.
Is there any...
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he
Oh,
could
hell
eat.
yeah. All the cabbage he could eat, guys.
Did Kimahir make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have
Rescued him
mentioned
from
it to Sergeant
savagery.
Ruffles.
Still, he must have...
Yeah, I was gonna
some
glide right on
amount of
past that one.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Until he drafting his complaint. Okay. Let's go check out the shack. Nope. The hell is that?
Looks like a knee print.
Oh, cool. And a footprint.
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Chewing tobacco. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
Okay, so that represents an event that I can recreate.
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
Where's the... I mean, I'm looking right at it. A floating blue bottle. You know, I can't deny that. So this is what I'm looking at. I guess I'll look for the shack right.
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of hessian. Is Sten really so miserly? No air coming through it. Button chops. The remains of a meal.
Oh shit, secret.
A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
The ashes are long since cold.
Okay, so there's a narcotic involved.
A scrap of Hessian.
Whatever that is.
These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
Signs of a scuffle.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
What am I looking for? Get his ass. How dare you use Google? What am I missing?
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
There's the ropes. Is it this thing? There we go.
A small navy spyglass. No air coming through it. No air coming through it.
There's a lot to learn here.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
What's over here? Oh, something blocked it.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
Feels like he was drugged. Hang on, can I do anything over here? No. Okay, we got... We have this, but I haven't been able to find the actual thing for it yet. Parallel tracks, wheels. Is it... No. Someone's kneeling there. What am I missing? Ooh, that's a good theory. Who is this? I wonder if this is the same. Maybe he got narcotics. And then somebody KO'd him. See, this is what... oh, maybe he just fell. Maybe it wasn't that he... like, so maybe he started to get... he finished his meal. And the narcotics started to take effect.
Is this a tanning
Oh, here we go.
a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Is this Cthulhu?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
Oh, you know what? He probably got like scarecrow fear gassed. It's probably like he had the opioids. He saw something. He saw like this. Made him panic. And then he fell over and hit his head here.
I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Oh, you bastard.
Are you joking? Why would I know this?
What am I missing?
Has Kimahir ever indulged?
There we go. This will help us a little bit.
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the
God, this
company.
guy sucks.
I would have known.
Everything I learned about it, I'm like, you deserve to have him taken. he should be free, is what I mean to say.
I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Is this spyglass familiar?
Okay,
don't
I know what I
recognize
can
it.
give him.
Could
Like,
it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
okay, spyglass.
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes, I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfair.
All right, I get it. You're a bad person.
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
Bro. About to kill it.
I will not.
Okay, 4 evidence found updated. Can I leave to go check out the other side of the garden? He is bossy. I don't have any more evidence to give him, though.
I will.
Are you joking? Why would I know this?
Do you happen to know
Oh, hang
Kimahir's
on.
shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest. But I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Maybe that was it.
Why are you still here?
Okay, it looks like I can move on. So he never wore shoes. So, like, this wouldn't be him then. Well, the spyglass can't be here.
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
So it can't be, okay. It has to be whichever one includes the spyglass in the shack. Let's double check on something here.
rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
See, I kind of think the chimney was plugged after the fact. Maybe he just left and he got help. That doesn't quite line up though. Nine. Is the answer found here, or do I have to actually leave to go somewhere else? That's what I'm wondering.
It's quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
I have to pin certain evidence. Thank you for that. I actually didn't realize that. That's why it said pin. Okay, let's try this. Because I have the, what is it called? Let's start with pinning the spyglass, see if that gives us anything. No. Keys on the wall when you pin the lock. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I didn't realize that was the thing I needed to do. Bent to the left. Here it is. Grass doesn't grow here. Pile of blocks, fallen.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
It's the guy with the spyglass, of course.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe.
Oh my god, that scared me.
With a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
Yet again, something that I completely overthought. This game is going to be full of moments like this, I just know it.
You'd best have...
I found the residue. There are several explanations. Perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
I fear that someone may have spied upon... It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an...
And your point?
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail where it
that tracks.
Cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know. Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I've already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
Claptrap?
Truly, there is no better evidence of a man's nature than the way he treats those who help him. And you, sir, are a brute. The cruelty of your ignorance about the Maori people, your selfish attitude to a man's kidnapping.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach
Thanks,
your
bud. Appreciate it.
companion
You have a good
the
day.
art of brevity.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Hey, there's a broken cart over here. Probably need to pin the other one. Just to be safe. Or maybe it'll be easier than I think it is.
Roy Soulsby. A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well, Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahir's cart, I gather.
Saltpeter, okay, I know where I'm going now. And I know why the magazine's important.
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair. A large pile of horse droppings.
Lovely.
Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab waiting here. Our abductor slipped in and then off into the night.
Okay, I should have enough here. Notable feature of the abductor? I don't know about that one yet. Let's start with where does the trail lead? Well, it was saltpeter, Stenwick's Mansion, trail. Let's start here then. Where are the notable features of the abductor? So he's Roy Salisbury, I know that. He chews tobacco. He's a size 11. Damn. Braggers after all the Chipotle, what you say? Spyglass. Is it not the wallet? Maybe it's the sailor's knot and the wallet was saltpeter. Kidnapped by a sailor, okay. That's a bit of a stretch, Sherlock Holmes. I don't know, man. I know the trail leads... Well, because based on this, it... Let's see. The Port of London, wallet with saltpeter. And that's... Boom, there we go. How's it going, Dunkspank? Glad you could join us. We're just playing some Sherlock Holmes The Awakening, or Sherlock Holmes versus The Awakened. I don't think it's versus. It's not like Batman versus Superman, but yeah, Sherlock Holmes The Awakened is supposed to be like Cthulhu-esque. So right now it's been, you know, just solving some two mysteries. Tekken Sherlock Holmes. Exactly. Alright, we need to go to the Port of London.
The Strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
Is this something where I could just fast travel there, or how am I getting there? Pin it and then look for... I guess just run out here and see if there's anything. No, but Sox was behind me earlier. Yeah, I'm good.
The Port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
Bro's just talking to cats, you know how it is. Now you have that cool little coffee cup Reaper thing. I think I have another question I can answer. Why is he acting so strangely?